The first set of questions, numbers 1 through 10, are about special right triangles, and specifically 45, 45, 90 triangles. So I have here on the right are 45, 45, 90. And so since two of our angles are the same, two of our sides are going to be the same. So if you're given a side, the other side is going to be exactly the same number, whatever it is. And then to get from a side to the hypotenuse, all you have to do is take whatever that x value is, whatever that side is, and multiply it by the square root of 2. So that's the only change. But that's if we're going that way. You just have to times by the square root of 2. But if we're going the other direction, so if we have the hypotenuse, we go the other direction, we divide by the square root of 2. Because if I start here and have to go the other way, I need to get rid of that square root of 2. So we can only do that by dividing. So let's look at some examples over here. So let's look first at number 3. So that's going to be one of the more simple ones that you're going to do. So we're given one of the legs, and we know that because the 90 degrees, wherever the 90 degrees is, the two sides that make up that 90 degrees are called the legs. So 9 is one of the legs, so that just means that's going to be one of these sides. So that means this side, the other leg, is going to be exactly the same number. So we can just say y equals 9. And it's exactly the same number, so we've got one side already. And then remember, if you're starting here and you need the hypotenuse, all you have to do is add this piece on there by multiplying by the square root of 2. So we take 9 and we move it over here and we times by the square root of 2, and that is it. That's all we need to do. So the two sides are the same, 9, 9, and then this is one of the sides, one of the legs, times by the square root of 2. If we're going backwards, so like on number 2, I have the hypotenuse this time. So instead of timesing by the square root of 2 to get the hypotenuse, I have to go backwards, which would be dividing by the square root of 2. So if you want to do that over on the side, take that divided by the square root of 2. So that will actually cancel out. So y equals 7. And on a 45, 45, both of the legs are exactly the same. So you can just fill that same thing in to the other one. This time we're given the hypotenuse, but it doesn't have the square root of 2, but the process is exactly the same. So I have the hypotenuse. To get one of the legs, I have to divide by the square root of 2. So let's do that work over here. 3 divided by the square root of 2. So that is the correct answer. However, it's not simplified. So what we have to do is we have to rationalize our denominator. So just multiply by that square root that we do not want on the bottom. So the bottom will just become regular 2 because the square and the square root will cancel. We're just left with the inside. And then we just have 3 times the square root of 2 on top. And that's simplified. I can't simplify these numbers that are outside the square root. So then that would just be it. 3 square root of 2 divided by 2. And this is the other leg, so it's going to be exactly the same. So there's our other leg. Go ahead and practice the other ones in this section and check your answers on the answer key.